Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Ali Naqvi. I hope everyone is fine. Today I bring another video for your concern that is very much important medical emergency that we usually face during our duty in emergency, that is upper GI bleed. But patient come to us with hematemesis. Hematemesis every medical student knows, and as well as doctor would surely know about that. But hematemesis, and in this video I will explain how will you approach the patient with upper GI bleed or hematemesis, as well as I will explain their causes, risk factors, signs and symptoms. Also explain how will you manage it in medicine emergency, and what will we do if we don't control it in a medicine emergency. How will we compete it or control it and treat it surgically. So let's start the video. Thank you. Upper GI bleed, that is very much important and very important medical emergency we usually face during our medical duty. 70 to 80% of the upper GI bleed cases are usually due to GIT hemorrhages. 70 to 80% cases usually come, and that is most probably upper GI bleed. So what is the clinical feature patient come to you in the medical emergency? How will you start it? That is, patient have recurrent episodes of hematemesis, that is coffee ground color, or also complaint of black stools or tarry stools that are difficult to flush. We call it as melena, and he is having a anemia due to blood loss, and due to which, as he is facing or she is facing a blood loss, so we have signs of circulatory insufficiency, that is weakness, tachycardia, hypotension. These are the most commonly features usually come in the emergency with patients who have upper GI bleed. And what are factors behind it? That maybe the patient use alcohol, patient might having chronic liver disease, or he is having peptic ulcer disease, he is using painkillers, NSAIDs, etc., or aspirin uses, because aspirin thin the blood or increase the clotting time or PT time, that may result in the bleeding. And tobacco use, that is the cause of the gastritis and chronic vomiting, that may cause ranching and biliary vesture. So a patient with how will you differentiate the patient who is having bleeding due to esophageal varices or chronic liver disease, or bleeding due to NSAIDs? Patient who is having bleeding that result from the injury to the gastric mucosa due to use of NSAID has severe pain or have pain in the epigastrium, while the patient who is having chronic liver disease or having esophageal varices have the history of hematemesis but have no pain or less pain, most probably no pain. 90% patient come to us with no pain, 90 to 95%, and having esophageal varices. So let me discuss how will we approach the patient who is having upper GI bleed issue. First of all, as we all know, in the emergency we have to start with ABC. We start with airway, ABC, airway. First we secure the airway, place the patient on bed, place the head. I will tell how we approach the patient of the upper GI bleed. In the emergency, we usually start with the airway, breathing, circulation, ABC. First, we will secure the airway. Patient head should be placed downward to reduce the risk of aspiration. And if we need any type of suction, please do that. If a patient is in the condition of acute loss of consciousness or having a recurrent hematemesis that is very much severe, so we can pass endotracheal tubes to secure the airway. In the breathing category, in the B category breathing, we will check the SO2, and if we need oxygen, must provide oxygen with high flow pressure. Circulation, as I explained, a patient might come with the symptoms of circulatory insufficiency, so we start with pass the IV line and start 1 liter normal saline, IV stat in the case of hypovolemia. So next time you should use injection octreotide, sandostatin 0.1 mg per ml 2 ampules, a 100 cc normal saline at 20 to 25 microdrops per minute or injection therapy if needed. We usually avoid this because it is very expensive and no patient cannot afford in the private hospitals. In the government hospitals, we usually have most probably and most commonly this injection is available. This is also available in case if it is not available, we can use it. Then injection PPI Ryzik 40 mg meprazole IV stat. Then 2 ampule 100 cc normal saline at 10 microdrops in case of ulcers. A patient complained that is a severe gastric pain that may be ulcers. An antibiotic cover that was injection ceftriaxone 2 gram IVOD. The daily OD dose of the ceftriaxone is 2 grams, so rather giving 1 gram IVBD, we can give 2 gram IVOD. And injection vitamin K and plus minus injection transamine 500 mg IBSOS if needed. So this is a protocol usually fail. While doing all of this, we will move to other things that are important. Other important measures we usually have to we keep the patient NPO and maintain the EOP chart, pass the NG tube so we can clean the stomach and rather avoid aspiration and attach the back to it and pass Foley's to maintain the EOP chart. Avoid constipation, give Skylex or Dufalex is most probably used because patient usually come with a PGI bleed, having a hepatitis C or B, have the chronic liver disease that may be complicated because of constipation and may lead to very important medical condition that is hepatic incaf. So we have to avoid the constipation. The next is advise the endoscopy most diagnostic and therapeutic. If all of these measures have done and patient is not getting control of this problem, then we have to move towards surgical management, surgical approach. Then while doing the endoscopy, we can offer surgical repair that may be injection epinephrine, spirotherapy, ligation and coagulation thermography. If this is failed, then we get tips. Not possible, then we can go for the laparotomy as a final step. In this way, we will usually control the patient having the upper GI plate and we treat the patient. So this is the overall video. I have explained a few points about the upper GI bleed condition in the emergency that we usually face. Now in the next video I will explain what test we will be do, what we have to do in the ward, how will we progress about it in the ward and maintain the patient. So I hope you get my point and I am thankful to you. Please subscribe my channel and help me. As you know, the knowledge is not a one person entity. Everyone is better than other. So please share your knowledge and help me improving my channel, my knowledge and other persons. Thank you so much.